Hello from Trend Signal for our review of the data and events for the week starting the 31st of March. Last week, markets were mixed. FTSE was actually up slightly on the week, about 50 odd points. S&P was down around 10 points or 0.5%. DAX was the big gainer last week, 220 odd points. That's just over 2.35% on the week. Dollar had a mixed week, continued to rally against the euro. Sterling rallied quite sharply, though, following some very positive retail sales last Thursday. Yen pretty much sort of flat to slightly weaker versus the dollar. Aussie, that had a very good week against the dollar. It was up about 170 points, about 1.85%. Precious metals, well, gold continues to bleed, another $41 last week. That's just over 3%. Crude, sort of mixed fortunes, really ended up actually $1 up on the week. That's what geopolitical events really affecting that largely. So we are coming to the end of March. We're coming to the end of Q1 in 2014. The positive move on the 2nd of January does not seem to have been evidence in the market moves over the last 3 months. The S&P 500 is the only main market up in the quarter, and only just. The DAX might just crawl into positive territory on this is recorded on Monday today, but it's hardly spectacular. Ukraine and the Crimea and the Chinese slowdown were the main sort of global macro events that have weakened markets over the last, certainly over the last 6 weeks. US valuations may be a little bit of a problem as outlook for earnings growth seems less compelling. In the UK, the FTSE struggled as the resource and mining sector was negatively affected by the Chinese slowdown, which of course dragged the FTSE lower. Commodities, well, they had a good first couple of months, but weakness in China didn't help precious and base metals really, and they sort of tumbled, leaving a fairly mixed picture with crude lower, but precious metals still up on the quarter despite recent weaknesses. Data last week was generally better than expected, with the manufacturing PMIs in the Eurozone slightly better. Our retail sales smashed expectations, as I said earlier on, with a 1.7 month-on-month reading comfortably beating 0.5% consensus. So, on to data and events this week. As I said, we're back on British summertime now, so US markets are opening at their usual time of 1:30 and closing, data's coming out at 1:30, I should say. Markets opening at their usual time at 2:30 and closing at 9 p.m. So all US index traders, please take note. The first week of the new month, or more specifically the first Friday in the new month, means it's non-farm payroll week. It's key data. One of the Fed's mandates is to maintain maximum unemployment. They've got 2 mandates. One is to maintain price stability or stable prices, and the other one is maximum employment, I should say. So any change in the employment situation can have a direct effect on Fed monetary policy. This week, markets will focus on the European Central Bank meeting on Thursday, and obviously, as discussed, the non-farm payroll data the following day, that's Friday. We also have a number of purchasing managers surveys for the US, UK, and also China. The ECB's meeting on Thursday is preceded by the flash estimate for inflation in the Eurozone, which has been significantly weak over the last few months, and we're expecting a further drop from 0.7 to 0.6. Whether this has any effect on the ECB and what they do on Thursday is not clear. We tend to think that the ECB seems to be more of a talking shop rather than a doing shop. But for now, we don't think the ECB will do anything on Thursday. Nevertheless, the data at 10 o'clock on Monday will have a potential impact, certainly on the euro, on the euro stocks, DAX, and Bunds, and that could, if extreme, could actually then affect sterling markets as well. So our highlighted events, mostly a lot of red high impact data events. Overnight on Monday night, Tuesday morning, we'll get the final manufacturing PMI reading from HSBC on the Chinese economy. We have Reserve Bank of Australia's central bank meeting, not expecting any news on that, no change expected. And then the manufacturing PMIs in the Eurozone and in the UK on Tuesday, along with the ISM manufacturing PMI in the States at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Tuesday. All important numbers, all have the potential to impact the markets that we trade. And then on Wednesday, we have the first reading of the employment data. This comes from the private payroll company ADP at 1:15, expecting quite a rebound from their own reading, perhaps more in line with the Bureau of Labour Statistics data coming out on Friday. Not a particularly strong number on its own, but certainly improvement, and that we may have some corrections from previous months which were very negatively affected by the weather situation on the East Coast in the United States. Services sector or non-manufacturing sector data coming out on Thursday from China and also the US at 3 o'clock, referred to as non-manufacturing. It is the services PMI data. But Thursday, as I said, the main event Thursday will be the ECB announcement on interest rates, which we're not expecting anything, although the press conference at 1:30 will have an effect on markets as Draghi speaks there, so expect an impact on the euro, on bonds and stock indices. And that's it for the for Thursday. Then the main event of the week, as I say, is the non-farm payroll data on Friday. We're looking for a figure of 196,000. It's likely that there will be a little more focus on some of the statistics there. The average hourly earnings is expected to have an impact as well. The headline employment rate not quite so important because of the effects that people leaving the employment market has affected that rate. Nevertheless, all that data I'm sure will be chewed over. Be careful with that release because we are expecting some revisions as well. So it's not just a headline figure that will move the market, but any revisions as well. That's it. Thank you very much for listening, and we will reconvene again on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Bye for now.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.